Alright, so now we're going to solve a system equation by graphing it. So like I said, you obviously need a calculator to graph this. So in order to use graphing, both of your equations have to be in y equals form, which, if you look at our equations, neither of them are. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work on both of them. So let's first take this one, pull it to the side, and let's change it to y equals. So we need to get this y by itself. So in order to get the y by itself, we need to move this 4x to the right side. But to move it, you have to subtract it off one side, and then what you do to the one side, you have to do to the other. So now we have y equals negative 4x plus 2. Now this guy is in the correct form. So I'm going to replace him in my system. So y equals negative 4x plus 2. So now I'm going to change my other one. So now I'm going to take this guy up here and get the y by itself on this one. So I first have to move this x. Now the x is positive, so the only way to get rid of a positive x is to minus an x. They cancel out, minus an x. So now I have negative y equals negative x plus 3. Now I'm not done. I have to divide by this negative 1. Divide by the negative 1. Those cancel out. And I have y equals, the negative 1 needs to be divided by this guy and by this guy. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive 1 over 1, which you do not need to write. And then a positive 3 divided by a negative 1 is just negative 3. Now he is in the correct form. So I'm going to replace him over here. Alright, so now, since we're doing graphing, we actually need to graph them. So the reason we got them into y equals is because whenever you graph an equation on your TI-84, you actually are hitting the y equals button right here. So if your equations are in y equals, they'll work. So you're going to plug it in, negative 4x plus 2, and in y2 you're going to write your other one, x plus negative 3. Now also, just so you know, you could have also wrote y equals x minus 3. Those are the same things. So if you don't understand that these are the same things, you got to go to tutoring. So it doesn't matter which one you type in. Once you're done, you need to hit graph. Now looking at this, I already know I have one solution because my graphs intersect at one point right here. So that point is what we're solving for. We want to find the x and the y where they cross. So to find it, your calculator will do it for you. You go to second, which is right here, and then you go to trace, and if you go down, there's a button called intersect. You hit intersect, and it says first curve, you hit yes, second curve, yes. Would you like the calculator to guess? Yes. And if you look closely, it gives you x equals 1 and y equals negative 2. So at 1, negative 2, that is where your graphs are crossing. So the answer to your system is 1, negative 2.